Kingston doesn't sell luxury the way Los Angeles does. Here, status isn't measured in square footage, but in message and memory. Anthony B. never chased hillside mansions or gated silence. He stayed close to the streets that shaped his voice, choosing roots over retreat. The question isn't why he didn't leave, but why his words traveled the world while he stayed put. To understand that decision, we have to go back to the career that forged his fire and gave conscious reggae its modern edge. Anthony B. was born Keith Anthony Blair on March 31, 1976, in Clarkstown, Trelawney Parish, a quiet rural community far removed from the noise of Kingston. His upbringing was strict and deeply spiritual. His mother was a devoted Seventh-day Adventist, and his grandmother practiced a faith rooted in discipline and moral structure. From an early age, Anthony B. was taught that belief was not decoration, it was responsibility. Music entered his life early, but not as entertainment. It was instruction. He grew up listening to Bob Marley and Peter Tosh, absorbing their message-driven approach long before he understood the industry behind it. Tosh, in particular, left a lasting imprint. Anthony B.'s sharp vocal delivery, uncompromising tone, and refusal to soften his politics would later echo Tosh's revolutionary spirit. As a teenager, Anthony B. made a decision that permanently reshaped his life. He converted to Rastafari. The choice was not welcomed at home. His dreadlocks and beliefs clashed directly with his family's Christian values. Rather than retreat, he stood his ground. That stubbornness, some would call it conviction, forced him to leave Clarkstown and move to Portmore, St. Catherine, where he lived with relatives and fully embraced the faith. He became a member of the Bobo Ashanti order, known for its strict discipline, African-centered worldview, and distinctive robes and turbans. Music followed naturally. During high school, he began performing as a DJ on the Shaggy high-power sound system, where his voice quickly stood out. By the late 1980s, he had formed close ties with artists like Determine, Mega Banton, Ricky General, and Terror Fabulous, all part of a generation redefining reggae's direction. At a time when much of dancehall leaned toward crude, misogynistic lyrics, Anthony B. took the opposite route. He refused to degrade women or dilute his message. Instead, he wrote songs rooted in politics, African identity, and spiritual accountability. His debut single, The Living Is Hard, 1993, released on the Wizard label, set that tone clearly. The record didn't chase radio trends, it challenged them. His breakthrough came when he partnered with producer Richard Bell. Together, they created some of the most defining anthems of the late 1990s conscious reggae movement: Fire Pon Rome, Raid de Barn, Rumor, and Repentance Time. These songs didn't just gain popularity, they positioned Anthony B. as a voice of moral urgency at a time when reggae was splitting between commercial appeal and cultural responsibility. By 1997, he released Universal Struggle, followed by a relentless run of albums: Seven Seals, 1999, Street Knowledge, 2003, Untouchable, 2004, which featured collaborations with Wyclef Jean, Snoop Dogg, Bone Crusher, and Black Star, then My Hope, 2005, and Life Over Death, 2008. Each project reinforced the same principle: message first, success second. In 2013, Anthony B. faced legal trouble in the United States after being charged with marijuana possession following a traffic stop in Georgia. The incident forced him to cancel several international shows and temporarily restricted his travel. The charges were later dropped, but the moment underscored the risks faced by Rastafarian artists operating within Western legal systems. Later that year, he released Tribute to Legends, honoring figures like Bob Marley, the Maytals, John Lennon, Ray Charles, Elvis Presley, and Inni Kamoze. Artists he credited as shaping both his music and worldview. In 2016, he launched Born Fire Music, releasing Tears of Love, followed by King in My Castle, 2020, and Bread and Butter, 2023. Touring Europe and North America extensively, Anthony B never slowed down. And yet, despite global stages and decades of output, he never relocated. His fire traveled, but he stayed rooted. To understand why, you have to step inside his Kingston, Jamaica home, where faith, discipline, and message continue long after the music fades. House in Kingston, Jamaica. Hidden in the calm hills of Lease Flat, where the air cools slightly and the city's noise fades into a distant hum. This Kingston townhouse reflects a life choice more than a lifestyle upgrade. This 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom townhouse sits comfortably among lush greenery, elevated just enough to command sweeping panoramic views of Kingston below. From this height, the city feels present but not intrusive, alive, moving, glowing at night, yet kept at a respectful distance. The home itself feels warm and functional, not designed to impress outsiders, but to support everyday life. The ground floor opens into a practical flow: kitchen, dining area, and living room connected without walls trying to show off. This is a space meant for conversation, reflection, and routine. An indoor gym sits quietly within the layout, less a luxury flex, more a symbol of discipline and self-maintenance. Upstairs, the bedrooms continue that same philosophy. Fully equipped, comfortable, and private, they prioritize rest over extravagance. Nothing oversized, nothing dramatic, just rooms that do their job well. It's the kind of house where everything has a purpose, and nothing feels added simply to raise the price tag. Then there's the basement, arguably the most telling feature of the entire property. Large, adaptable, and with the potential for its own separate entrance, this space could easily become a self-contained studio apartment. It holds clear income potential, whether as a rental unit or a creative workspace. And yet, there's no indication that maximizing profit was ever the main reason for choosing this home. Outside, the balcony becomes a daily ritual space. From here, mornings feel quieter, evenings feel slower, and Kingston's lights stretch across the horizon like a reminder of the world below. It's a place for observation, not participation, a front-row seat without stepping onto the stage. Interestingly, there have been reports suggesting that Anthony B may rent this home rather than own it outright. He has never publicly confirmed this, and that silence speaks volumes. Ownership, in this context, feels secondary. What matters more is control over one's environment, freedom from unnecessary pressure, and staying rooted rather than invested in appearances. And that naturally leads to the bigger question: how does Anthony B sustain this grounded lifestyle financially? And what does income look like for an artist who values stability over spectacle? Income and net worth. For Anthony B, money has never been the headline. It's always been the byproduct, a result of consistency, longevity, and staying loyal to a lane that was never designed to be mainstream, but has endured far longer than trends. Active since the mid-1990s, Anthony B has built a career that most artists would quietly envy. More than 3 decades in music, over 30 albums released, countless singles, collaborations across continents, and still touring. That kind of output doesn't create sudden explosions of wealth. It creates something more stable, earned income that compounds slowly over time. Public estimates of his net worth are scarce and inconsistent, largely because his career doesn't follow the pop star template analysts usually track. Depending on the source, figures range from several $100,000 to a few million US. What's clear, however, is that his wealth has been accumulated steadily, not through viral moments or luxury endorsements, but through a specialized, loyal global audience that keeps showing up. Live performances, however, are where the real engine runs. For reggae artists, touring isn't optional, it's essential. Anthony B. has performed extensively across Europe, North America, Africa, and beyond, appearing at major reggae festivals and headlining shows in countries where conscious music still draws devoted crowds. These tours, often sold out or consistently attended, represent one of his most reliable income streams. Then there's ownership. In the early 2000s, he founded his own independent label, giving himself greater control over production, distribution, and rights. That decision reduced reliance on major labels and allowed him to retain more of what he earns, less flash, more leverage. And when income is built this way, slow, grounded, intentional, it often opens the door to something bigger than wealth itself: the ability to give back. Philanthropy. As a Rastafarian and conscious lyricist, his songs have consistently addressed poverty, inequality, injustice, and spiritual responsibility. Rather than launching highly publicized foundations or attaching his name to grand campaigns, his contribution has often come through participation, presence, and alignment, supporting causes that already serve communities on the ground. Over the years, Anthony B. has been connected with and supportive of initiatives linked to American Friends of Jamaica, an organization that channels resources into education, healthcare, economic development, and disaster relief across the island. Their work focuses on empowering local Jamaican charities rather than replacing them, an approach that mirrors reggae's grassroots philosophy. He has also been associated with causes aligned with Helping Hands Jamaica Foundation, which concentrates on building and restoring schools. Education, in this context, is seen not as charity, but as infrastructure, long-term investment in children who would otherwise be left behind. Another organization reflecting his values is Mustard Seed Communities, known for providing residential care, education, and medical support to children with disabilities, HIV/AIDS, and those living in extreme poverty. Supporting such work aligns naturally with Anthony B.'s long-standing message of dignity, compassion, and collective responsibility. Food security has also been a recurring theme, through links to food for the poor. Jamaica, one of the largest humanitarian organizations in the region, aid reaches families in the form of food, housing materials, medical supplies, and agricultural support, especially critical during times of crisis and natural disaster. Internationally, his impact has extended beyond Jamaica. Through performances at events like the Austin Reggae Festival, funds have been raised for the Central Texas Food Bank, helping provide millions of meals to families facing food insecurity. In these moments, music becomes more than entertainment. It becomes a tool for direct action. Anthony B.'s philanthropy is quiet, consistent, and deeply aligned with his worldview. No speeches, no spotlights, just service. And behind that public message of justice and compassion lies a personal life shaped by faith, privacy, and survival, bringing us to the next chapter: personal life. For Anthony B., privacy is not mystery. It's strategy. No information has been publicly disclosed regarding marital status or the number and names of any children. And that silence appears intentional. That boundary has allowed him to remain focused on belief systems rather than biographies. Rastafari is not an aesthetic in his life. It's a framework. He has openly described himself, without irony, as the most controversial reggae artist of all time, a title earned less through personal scandal and more through ideological confrontation. That posture has come with consequences. His 1995 breakout song, Fire Pon Rome, was a direct protest against corruption and political injustice. Released in a charged pre-election climate, the song was deemed too provocative and was banned from Jamaican radio. The ban only amplified its impact, cementing Anthony B.'s role as an artist willing to accept restriction over retreat. His life has also included moments of real danger, far from metaphorical. In 2024, he survived a life-threatening medical emergency after a fishbone punctured his intestines while eating fish tea. a traditional soup. Emergency surgery saved his life. It was a sobering reminder that survival isn't only a lyrical theme, it's lived experience. There have also been legal challenges. In 2009, he faced drug-related charges in the United States. The case ended without a verdict after a jury failed to reach consensus. In 2013, he was arrested in Georgia for possession of marijuana with intent to distribute following a traffic stop. Those charges were later dropped. Conflict has surfaced within the reggae community as well. A backstage incident at Rebel's Salute in 2017 led to tension with fellow artist Tarrus Riley. Anthony B. responded musically with the controversial track Rasta Fake, accusing Riley of insincerity in Rastafarian practice. The song sparked intense debate, dividing opinion but reinforcing Anthony B.'s reputation for speaking without filters, even when it costs him allies. Taken together, his personal life reads less like a celebrity profile and more like a survival manual. Guard your family. Stand your ground. Accept the scars. Thank you for spending this time with us and walking through his life beyond the headlines. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Would you choose peace over fame? Until next time, stay rooted and stay curious.